Thank you, everyone. Our esteemed speakers are here. So I would like to request our esteemed guest and speaker, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat, Poonam Chand Paramar, sir. Please join us on the stage, sir. A round of applause for our guest. And we have a guest from Government of Maharashtra, Dr. Pallavi Daradeji. Ma'am, please join us on the stage. And Mr. Dr. Gaurav Dhahiya, Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of Gujarat. A round of applause for all our guests. And we have Deputy High Commissioner from British, Geoff Wayne. So please join us on the stage. And we have R.P. Singh, Mr. R.P. Singh, from our special guest from Odisha. He is the Food Safety Commissioner. And we also have, I would like to call Biprabuddha Chatterjee from Adani Wilmar Limited. And we have Viranji Shah, Chairman of Indian Drugs Manufacturing Association. So please join us. A round of applause for all our guests who joined us on the guest.
I would like to welcome Mr. Vishal Rajgaria, Managing Director of FineCure Pharmaceuticals, on this stage.
A round of applause for our guests.
And I would also like to welcome our program chair of today, Mr. Hemant Koshia, Commissioner, Food and Drug Control Administration, Department, Government of Gujarat. Sir, please join us on the dais. A big round of applause for Hemant Koshia, sir. And I would like to request CEO of Elets Technomedia, Mr. Ravi Gupta, to join us on dais. Please, Dr. Ravi Gupta.
Thank you, Himangni. So to formally inaugurate our national summit, I would request all our esteemed guests on the dais to join us for the lighting the lamp to traditionally start the conference. A good start for the national conference with the blessings of God.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Prathameshwara Ganadishwara Chintamani Parameshwara Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Prathameshwara Ganadishwara Chintamani.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I would request Dr. Ravi Gupta, CEO and Editor-in-Chief of Elets Techno Media, to hand over bouquet to all our guests on the dais. I would request, so. Welcome bouquet to our Paramar Sir, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And Dr. Pallavi Darare, Commissioner and Food Drugs from Government of Maharashtra. And Dr. Hemant Koshia, sir, who is the program chair, the man behind this summit. And we have R.P. Singh, Food Safety Commissioner from Government of Odisha, and our Foreign Embassy Deputy Commissioner, British Deputy High Commissioner G. of Wayne. And also to Dr. Gaurav Dhahiya, Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of Gujarat. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And we have Biprabuddha Chatterjee. Thank you, sir. And we also have Viranji sir from Indian Drug Manufacturing Association. Thank you from our guests from Fine Cure Pharmaceuticals. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Gupta. To start off with our inauguration summit, of the summit, I would request the man, the program chair of this national conference, who has been our strength and has been the guiding force, Dr. Hemant G. Koshia, sir, to give the welcome address. A round of applause to our program chair, Dr. Hemant G. Koshia.
Good morning, friends. Honorable Additional Chief Secretary Sri Poonamchand Parmar, sir. Madam Palviji, FDA Commissioner Maharashtra. Mr. R.P. Singh, Food Safety Commissioner for the state of the Odisha. Mr. Gaurav Dhahiya, the Director of National Health Mission, Government of Gujarat. Joff, the Deputy British High Commission. Mr. Viranji Shah, the Chairman of IDMA Gujarat State Board. Mr. Vishal Rajgari of Fine Cure. Mr. Rajiv of Elets. Dignitaries on the dais, of the dais. Friend, I welcome you all to the vibrant land of Gujarat, the land of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, the land of the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the land of the current Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. I welcome you all to this National Food and Pharma Summit 2017, organized by elets and supported by the state government through Health and Family Department, through FDCA. Friend, Gujarat is known for its pharmaceutical activity. It's pharma capital of the nation. We have very dense pharmaceutical manufacturing activities over here. There are more than 4,000 plus licensed manufacturers, around 37,000 retail wholesale pharmacies. And again, it's a hub of the food processing industry of the nation. We have many food processing units and a lot of APMC markets, lot of cold storage, and around 2.5 lakhs food business operators operating in the state of Gujarat. And again, it's a land of ease of doing business, and through we have a lot of series of events known as a Vibrant Gujarat Global Innovation Summit. It's biannual events, and through that government is promoting different sectors and inviting the investors to do business in the land of the Gujarat. It's very fertile land for the business perspective. And as a regulator and as a government, it's a prime duty to make sure that the citizens get the safe food and the safe pharmaceuticals through judicial implementation of the Food Related Act in the state of Gujarat, that is the Food Safety Standard Act. For the drug sector, we have a Drug and Cosmetic Act. We have a very close collaboration with the international regulator like US FDA, MHRA of UK, and I'm happy to share with you that a lot of medicine being manufactured in the state of Gujarat are exported through to UK, and we have a very close relation with Medical Health Product Agency, that is MHRA of the United Kingdom, and his CEO and Mr. Giral Hedden, they are frequently visiting to FDA and the state of Gujarat. Again, Gujarat, as I mentioned, is capital of the pharmaceuticals. Manufacturing 1/3 of nation production from the state of Gujarat and exporting almost 28% of the pharmaceutical to the 175 countries across the globe. Again, Gujarat has a very strong heritage of the pharmaceuticals, almost 109 years of legacy. And Gujarat is the largest manufacturer of the anti-TB drug ethambutol. World's 70% of isoniazid is being manufactured in the state of Gujarat. Again, it's an emerging hub for the medical device also. Nationals, it's a capital for the cardiac stent manufacturers, orthopedic implants manufacturers. Almost countries 50% orthopedic IOL, intraocular lenses, are being manufactured in the state of Gujarat. Friend, this is the event of the food and the pharma. During the day, we'll discuss on the lot of innovation, because pharma industry and the food industry both are the technology-driven industry, both are the innovative industries, and there is a lot of science involvement in the day-to-day affair of this industry. So through this deliberation, participants will enrich with this latest technology, innovations, ease of doing business with the state government, government policies. And again, I welcome all the delegates, all the participants, all the speakers. I special welcome the Drug Controller of the Odisha, Mr. Mahapatru. I also welcome Mr. Sadhwan, he is the OBDICE, the licensing authority for the state of Maharashtra, Mr. Prabodh Halde, and many speakers and the participants. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gujarat has been the trendsetter and has been in the forefront, be it in ease of doing business, and many of our states across the country has certainly many things to learn from Gujarat and the administration out here. Thank you, sir. So, we from elets, I would like to take you through what elets does and how we have been working with various government across the country and also in Middle East and Europe. Elets is basically a media research organization that closely works with the government, focusing on various subjects, doing research, and based on the trend and the requirement and the gap between industry, government, we go ahead and organize summits which serves as a national and international platform for the knowledge exchange. So we started off in 2003. To begin with, we are the leading institution working in ICT advocacy in development sector, home to our popular media brands. We have various focused magazine, which includes BFSI, Banking and Finance, Education, Digital Learning is the magazine, and Governance, Healthcare sector, and Smart City, which aligns with the Government of India's vision. So we have been, our mission is to organize smart cities in all the smart cities that have been listed by Government of India. And we have been bringing out these magazines, the monthly magazines, and of course we are organizing similar summits. And these are our strategic focus, how we divide all these subjects and bring in focused approach in this sector, be it healthcare, mobility or transport. We look into power and energy also, security, manufacturing, education, financial inclusion, and the latest trends, cloud computing, information technology, which has been the integral part for propagation and for all the initiatives. So this is what we do: publications, knowledge portals, conferences, award, and expo. So these are our focused magazine: e-health, which focuses on health, and BFSI, banking and finance, which is related to banking, insurance, finance. Ego magazine is one which focuses on information technology. DL, digital learning, is our focused magazine on education. So these are our portals which you may log in or join to get more information. We are, with the trend, we are also on the mobile apps. So these are similar kind of conferences we organize, which serves as a knowledge exchange platform, be it the decision makers, policy makers, or industry experts from India and across abroad. So you can see our Honorable Prime Minister, who wore the Chief Minister then back, he was our chief guest in one of our summits. The World Education Summit, Dr. Abdul Kalam Azad, our former president. These are some glimpses. This is something in the Middle East with government of Dubai, Bahrain, and we also have our upcoming World Education Summit in the month of November. So this is about our banking. NBFC, National Banking Finance, is another tech summit that's coming up in Mumbai. So these are our upcoming conferences. Kota, Rajasthan. Then we have one in Pimpri Chinchwad. So we also felicitate the trendsetters, the leaders in these sectors with awards, and of course the best products and solutions are displayed at our expo. So these are our various flagship conferences which we have been organizing across the country. You can see our global footprints. These are the key projects. We also closely work with the governments, help them in research, and find solution according to the need, the local need, and local and regional needs. So we have been, smart cities are, as I've said earlier, our vision, elets Techno Media's vision is to organize smart cities across the country. We have one upcoming summit within Gujarat in Vadodara on 21st and 22nd of September. These are some of our key projects in smart cities. World Health Organization, national NGOs, global NGOs have been associated with us earlier. These are some of our past partners, government departments and organizations who have joined us and supported us. Of course, the corporate partners, public sector undertaking, banking partners. Thank you. Now, I have the pleasure to call on our special guest from the state of Maharashtra. We have Dr. Pallavi Darade. Dr. Pallavi Darade, madam. Ma'am, please join us and share us your perspective in food and drugs area. Please join us, madam. A round of applause to our esteemed special guest from Government of Maharashtra.
On the occasion of National Food and Pharma Summit 2017, Gujarat, respected Poonam Chand Parmar, Sir, Additional Chief Secretary, respected Shri Wayne, British Deputy High Commissioner, respected Dr. Kosia, Commissioner FDA Gujarat, respected Shri Ravi Gupta, CEO, respected Shri R.P. Singh, Food Safety Commissioner, Orissa, Shri Sadhwani, Joint Commissioner and colleague in Maharashtra FDA, Shri Pramod Harde from AFSTI, officers from the FSSI, all the respected dignitaries on the dais, all the eminent participants, delegates, members of the food and pharma industry, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is a matter of great honor to be addressing this National Food Pharma Summit. I congratulate Dr. Kosia and Government of Gujarat to have organized this National Summit, and I wish it all the success. And I am very sure that this summit will not only discuss various issues of national significance, but would also find solutions to various challenges which pharma and food industry are facing today. I think a round of applause is very much deserved by Dr. Kosia and elets Technomedia Private Limited and the full team of National Food and Pharma Summit. As we are all aware, pharmaceutical industry in India is robust and thriving. The annual turnover of industry in 2015-16 itself was about 2 lakh crores and exports of about 11 lakh crores. Domestic consumption was about 98,000 crores. Indian pharma sector is largely fueled by exports and is the third largest foreign exchange earner for India. It employs about 2 lakh workforce across the value chain. It is a private enterprise-driven industry, and the contribution of the public sector undertaking is literally negligible. Indian pharmaceutical industry has the largest number of US Food and Drug Administration approved manufacturing facilities outside the USA, also plants approved under the EDQM, WHO, and GMP. I think the major concerns that are worrying the industry today is decline in the compound annual growth rate, non-adherence to the quality standards and norms, the growing competition from other countries, huge dependence on imports for the key starting materials as also the APIs, lack of R&D and discovery of new molecules. Now, of all the above major things, I think are policy matters, but non-adherence to the quality, standards and norms is concerning the regulatory authorities and the implementers in the state. Pharma industry in Maharashtra constitutes nearly 1/3 or more of that of India. Though till 2005, Maharashtra was the leading state in the field of pharmaceutical manufacturing and had, however, because of the creation of the special economic zones, lost its edge in some parts, but has little affected the further growth of pharma industry in Maharashtra. Many companies are maintaining highest standards of purity, stability, and international safety, health, and environmental protection in production and supply of drugs. This speaks of the high quality standards maintained by a large number of Indian pharma companies, as these bulk activities are used by buyer companies in manufacture of dosage forms, which are again subjected to stringent assessments by various regulatory authorities in the importing countries. Maharashtra FDA nearly has about 18,000 crores of export industry. To further strengthen the base, it is essential to maintain the quality control over drug and pharmaceutical production and distribution, and upgrading the regulatory mechanism. The pharmaceutical policy of Government of India has already initiated such steps and various legislative changes to upgrade the legislative and regulatory mechanisms. As I would like to draw your attention to Schedule M of Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945, was substituted completely by revising an elaborate Schedule M under GSR in 2001. Taking this forward, Maharashtra FDA in last 2 months has made it compulsory for all its people in pharma industry to fill the Schedule M and submit it to the respective joint commissioners of those divisions. It is expected that the pharma industry in Maharashtra would on its own go through the various detailed provisions, that is good manufacturing practices and requirements of the premises, plants and equipments for better pharmaceutical products. I would like to draw the kind attention of this gathering to the schedule, which is a very detailed schedule and defines the general requirements, the water system, the disposal of waste, the warehousing area, the ancillary areas, the quality control areas, the personnel, health, clothing, sanitation, equipments. This detailed schedule, we are asking all our industry to go in for a self-compliance, for self-inspection, self-audit, and would lead to focusing attention on all these compliances. I would like to again point out that following the footsteps of Maharashtra, where we have issued directions to the pharma industry for self-compliance on all these Schedule M, the DGCI has also issued similar instructions all over India about a week back, emphasizing on self-compliance. I believe the cosmetic sector in India is also a very huge sector and a growing one. But presently, the retail and wholesale production is not registered nor licensed under the Act. Maharashtra FDA has already moved to Government of India to get this sector under licensing, thus regulating it, further improving it and making it more accountable. Tracking of drugs, especially psychotropic and sensitive ones, is an eternal problem with all the FDAs across India. Maharashtra FDA would next propose to the Government of India for getting the batches allocated to the companies before they start any kind of production, thus bringing a complete transparency right from the production to its movement up to the customers. Many more such concepts are under discussion in Maharashtra FDA, which would definitely lead to increasing revenue and increasing quality control, thus leading to a strong base of pharma industry for future growth. Foods, as we all know, is a very high growth and a high profit sector. With today's government, a lot of emphasis is laid on the foreign collaborations, on joint ventures. I think this would be another area for Maharashtra FDA to work very closely with the industry to form a very strong base for future growth, not only for India, but also for the world. If I look into the statistics of Maharashtra, we realize that we have literally more than 9 lakh of registered and licensees across Maharashtra. But then if we see the number of regulators, the very cutting edge of our department, the food safety officers, are literally to the extent of 265. Now realizing that Maharashtra is a very well-educated and socially aware state, we in Maharashtra FDA are very much concentrating, as we are doing in Pharma, for self-compliance. For this, we are now conducting huge trainings across Maharashtra, sector-wise, and then we are trying and making our people more aware of the compliances required. The concept behind all this is that when an educated person and a law-abiding person is told about the various compliances required as per the Act, we believe that he would definitely comply with them. If not 100%, I think 80 to 90% of compliance is very much expected. Hence, today Maharashtra FDA is now emphasizing more on training, on IEC activities, thus bringing into focus the self-compliance which is evident in all the other sectors of India. I think the topic is endless, and I come from a state where Maharashtra is very active, whether it is in pharma or food, has always flagged various issues, whether it was stents, whether it is catheters, whether it is medical devices, orthopedic implants in the sector of pharma, or maybe even in the foods. I can go on and on and on, but I realize that many eminent speakers would be now interacting with you. So I stop here. I thank Dr. Kosia and Elect Media for giving me an opportunity to interact here. I wish the summit a huge success. I thank you, all the present here, for a very patient listening. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing the perspective and the best practices in Maharashtra. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana have been the hubs for the drug manufacturing, and they have been exporting it across the globe. And of course, for that, there are foreign collaboration is one important aspect through which our export and import essential needs of medicines is being made possible. So to talk about the foreign collaboration, and especially in United Kingdom, we have our guest, British Deputy High Commissioner Geoff Wayne. A round of applause for our foreign guest who is sharing his view on foreign collaboration.
Distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and namaste. It's a great pleasure for me to be here today. I've been living and working in Ahmedabad for nearly 3 years now as the first British Deputy High Commissioner to the vibrant state of Gujarat. We're proud to be the only country so far to have full diplomatic representation in this important state, but that is only right because Gujarat is important to the UK. It's important to us politically, it is important to us economically, and with some 700,000 people in the UK of Gujarati origin, it is important to us culturally and socially as well. Having opened my office here in 2015, last year we opened a new British Council Cultural Centre in Vashtrapur, and earlier this year I inaugurated the opening of a bigger, better visa application centre again here in Ahmedabad, and I hope that gives you an indication of the very practical investments that we're making into the state because of the important relationship that we have with Gujarat and with Gujaratis. And the UK also now has 10 offices across India. We employ almost 1,000 people in this country. We have more staff, we have more offices in India than in any other single country anywhere in the world, including the US and China. And again, I hope this gives you a feel for the importance that my government places on its relationship with India as we go into the future. So I'm delighted to be here today at the National Food and Pharma Summit. Today I'll hope to give you some key facts on the UK life sciences sector and talk about the opportunities for doing business with the UK. About a seventh of the top 100 medicines in use today around the world originated from research in the UK. We currently have 79 Nobel Prizes for contributions to medical science, and all of the 20 biggest pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in the world are active and represented in the UK. The life sciences sector is the third largest contributor to the economic growth in the UK, accounting for more than 200,000 jobs, with total annual turnover of £56 billion last year. More than 3 million patients have been recruited for clinical research, and there has been a 500% increase in industry-sponsored trials over the last 5 years. With a world-renowned research base, top universities, and a talented workforce, technology thrives in Britain. The UK and India have been working together for a very long time to develop novel drugs and innovative manufacturing processes. The British government is currently running a campaign on making tomorrow's medicine, which will create medicine of the best standard and quality. We strongly support the Make in India campaign of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and to deepen and strengthen the UK-India relationship, the UK government is promoting Make in India using UK technology. We have secured some excellent successes of Indian companies collaborating with UK companies in areas of diabetes treatment, oncology, antimicrobial resistance, and vaccines. The recent Memorandum of Understanding between the UK MHRA and Indian regulators, and the close relationship between the UK's National Institute for Clinical Excellence with India are clear indicators that India recognises the UK as an ideal partner of choice to help in moving up the value chain in drug development. To support manufacturing and innovation in the UK, the British government has established centres of excellence, or catapults as we call them, such as the Cell Therapy Catapult, the Precision Medicine Catapult, the Medicines Discovery Catapult, the Digital Catapult, and the National Biologics Manufacturing Centre. And the UK's Clinical Research Network provides free support to help the life sciences industry deliver high-quality research in the UK's National Health Service. Indian companies such as Intas Pharmaceuticals, Dishman, Cadila, Torrent, Cipla, Piramal, and many more have invested in the UK and are expanding their overseas business through their UK offices. As part of the UK government's initiatives, more than £2 billion has been invested in health and life sciences since the launch of Life Sciences Strategy in 2011. The Department of Health and National Institute of Research programme has leveraged £3.5 billion worth of private investment in that period. 318 biomedical companies have received £250 million in grants, plus a further £120 million has been obtained from industry. Regional grant support and the Advanced Manufacturing and Supply Chain Group provided £91 million for 25 new projects, leveraging an additional £300 million in investments. There are significant India-specific funding opportunities, such as the Newton Baba Fund and the India-UK Collaborative Industrial Research and Development Programme, which is part of the UK's £375 million Newton Fund to support science and innovation partnerships between the UK and emerging countries. In India, the fund is worth £50 million over 5 years and is supported by the UK and Indian governments through a formal ministerial agreement. The Newton Baba Fund will use the UK's strengths in research and innovation to support greater scientific research capacity in India and build research partnerships between British and Indian research organisations. The Medical Research Council in the UK and the Department for Biotechnology in India also have frequent joint funding initiatives. I believe that events like this National Food and Pharma Summit provide a valuable opportunity to meet like-minded people and to network with potential partners or clients. So I take this opportunity to list out some of our important events where you will get an opportunity to meet relevant UK companies. Innovation 2017, scheduled for early November in Birmingham in the UK, is one of the biggest UK innovation events focused on advanced manufacturing, creativity and the life sciences sector. We are also in the process of bringing a large business delegation from the UK to participate in India Pharma 2018, scheduled for February next year in Bangalore, and the medical fair scheduled for March next year in Mumbai. You will also get an opportunity to meet the UK companies at the Medica Trade Fair, scheduled for 13th to the 16th of November this year in Dusseldorf, and at CPHI Worldwide, scheduled for 24-26 October this year in Frankfurt. Now is a fantastic opportunity for the UK and Indian companies to collaborate on a wealth of projects and opportunities to the benefit of both our economies and to our citizens through innovative and groundbreaking developments in the life sciences sector. Thank you again for inviting me here today, and I wish all participants every success in forging new relationships with the UK during the course of this important event. Thank you and Dandevad.
Thank you, sir. So, international collaboration is very important for health sector and all other economic development for the countries. And for the collaboration to become stronger, the bond to become stronger, one reason can be food. I would like to read out a recently featured interview of Mr. Geoff Wayne. He has said, Gujaratis are the best, world best people. And he has to say whether as organization or individuals, Gujaratis welcome everyone with generous, genuine and gracious hospitality, chahe wo khane mein jo bhi ho. And he was quoted saying, when I first arrived, a businessman told me that what is important is not what is on the agenda, but what is on the menu. A round of applause for our foreign guest. This is how the bonds become stronger, understanding each other's culture. So I would request our next speaker, special guest, Dr. Gaurav Dahiya sir, Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of Gujarat. A round of applause for our guest.
On the occasion of National Food and Drug Summit, dignitaries on the dais, Additional Chief Secretary Poonam Chand Parmar Sahib, Pallavi Darade Ma'am, Commissioner FDCA Maharashtra, Mr. R.P. Singh, Commissioner Food and Safety, Mr. Geoff Wayne, British Deputy High Commissioner, Dr. Ravi Gupta, CEO elets, Mr. Shah, Hemant Koshia, Commissioner FDCA Gujarat, Dr. Vishal Raja Garia, Marketing Director Finecure Pharmaceutical. I would just like to say that food and drug industry is extremely important because there are many challenges in that food and drug industry plays a major role. For example, I'll tell you about maternal mortality rate. Maternal mortality rate in Gujarat is in the top 10, is among the top 10 states in India. But we must be aiming for less than 10, and it is there in Scandinavian countries. So for that, food and drug industry plays a major role. Second is infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate in Gujarat is 33, and we must aim for less than 10. And it is there in Sustainable Development Goals. And in disease burden also, we are facing huge disease burden of tuberculosis and non-communicable disease and communicable disease. Now, the upcoming area is non-communicable disease. It is lifestyle linked disorders. In that, food industry and drug industry has a big role to play. And especially the food habits and providing the food which is free from all kinds of things, and the quality needs to be checked. And one more important thing is about gastrointestinal diseases. Acute diarrheal diseases, cholera, typhoid, bacillary dysentery, hepatitis, even hepatitis A and E, both are spread by both are spread through waterborne route. So those are directly linked with food industry. That also needs to be taken care of. In pharma industry, for example, I was just thinking of in tuberculosis, anti-tubercular therapy, the treatment is so long. So can't we have shorter duration of treatment? For example, if a person is suffering from multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, can't the treatment duration, can't it be shortened? That drug industry can do a lot in this area. Gujarat is the pharma capital of India, and Gujarat is also the food and processing industries capital. In that, Gujarat has a very good name. But there are many upcoming diseases which are coming, even viral diseases which are coming, and I think now the influenza virus is there, swine flu is there. So we can have newer and newer invention. R&D has to be there. R&D because see, virus is going to change. For example, I'll tell you about influenza virus. Influenza virus, there is antigenic drift and antigenic shift. If the genotype of virus, Haemophilus influenzae virus, changes, then smallly changes, then it is antigenic drift. If it changes totally, then it is antigenic shift. So constantly the virus is changing, and constantly the antiviral drug which is affecting against that virus has to change. Likewise, the bacteria, viruses, protozoal, all these microbial organisms which are there have to be, the drug industry has to see, and the R&D support has to be there. So that the upcoming challenge, the upcoming diseases, we can fight against those diseases. One more important problem which I think is anemia. In anemia you know is very high, not only in Gujarat but in other parts of the country also. Iron, folic acid, iron sucrose injection. So what else we can do? In that also, I think the gastrointestinal disease play a part, food industry plays a part, and the drug industry plays a part. I think some R&D has to go into the drugs which can work for fight against anemia. For that, I think I open this platform that drug industries can help us in a big way. He help us even the National Health Mission in a big way. And our aim is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, but it cannot be achieved without the support of food industries and the drug industries. And one more important thing is the quality of the drugs. Quality of the drugs is also extremely important, that needs to be ensured. And at Gujarat, we follow the free drug and free diagnostic policy, and it is working extremely good. Now, I think there are many more speakers to speak, so I am very happy that Food and Pharma Summit is being organized at Gujarat, and I think many newer ideas will come, and many newer policies are going to be framed. So thanks a lot, and Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for taking us through the initiatives in Gujarat state. And there are many challenges in health which have to be tackled, and it's very well being dealt in the state. Now I would I would request Viprabuddha Chatterjee, Head R&D Adani Wilmar Limited, to share the industry perspective. A round of applause to our speaker from industry.
dignitaries on the dais, respected delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be invited and to ask to share a few thoughts with such a distinguished gathering this morning. As distinguished speakers before me have elaborated, the state of Gujarat is way up front in the field of pharma, but also in the field of food, especially in foods like edible oils, which has been a very strong hold of Gujarat, particularly the Saurashtra area of Gujarat. I represent a company which is perhaps one of the largest producer of edible oils, not only in Gujarat, but in India. And we understand that food has two very important aspects. First, of course, is to provide nutrition, but also, as we all know, that with non-communicable diseases, lifestyle diseases becoming of epidemic order in the country, the food has got a very important role to play. And perhaps there is a very distinct overlap between the food and pharma industry in India, because they complement and supplement each other to a very large extent. And therefore, the importance of organizing such summits become all the more evident. I'll just restrict myself to just adding one more line here, that food perhaps has got a very, very large role to play in our life than we realize. And the more we become careful, particularly from the industry side, to look after its nutritional aspects, to look after its food safety aspects, and also the ethical aspects, perhaps the dependence on the pharma can be reduced to a large extent. I thank you all once again for inviting me in here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir has very well said that food has to be, the food plays a very important role. We have to take food as medicines, or else we'll have to take medicines as food. Mr. Ratan Tata was quoted saying this. Thank you, sir. So I would request our another guest from industry, Mr. Vishal Rajgaria, Marketing Director, Fine Cure Pharmaceuticals. Mr. Vishal Rajgaria.
Very good morning to you all. And respected Additional Chief Secretary Sir, Sri Parmanand Parmar Sir, and respected Deputy High Commission Mr. John Ware from British High Commission, Dr. Gaurav Bhayaji, MD NHRM, Pallavi Darada Madam, Commissioner Food and Drug, Maharashtra, Dr. H.G. Koshia, Commissioner Food and Drug, Gujarat, R.P. Singh Ji, Commissioner Odisha, and my friend Viranchi Bhai from IDMA, Gujarat, Mr. Chatterjee, R&D from Adani, Wilmer, and Mr. Ravi Gupta, Director of elets. At first, I would like to thank Dr. H.G. Koshia Government of Gujarat and FDC together for organizing such an event where industry and the regulators and government body come together on a single platform to discuss the matter of the industry for augmented growth process, to discuss and come to a conclusion that how can we take industry and to plan for the future growth. And really this is a very good initiative. I would like to thank you so much for this initiative. And always Gujarat government and Gujarat FDC has been very friendly to take this step, to rather step ahead further to call industry and discuss. So that is really an admirable step. And I think we should applaud him for this. A round of applause could be given. Secondly, our Honorable Prime Minister has always talked of Digital India. If we see years behind, our FDCA was the first food and drug to go digital. And we had everything digital from Food and Drug Gujarat to be in place. That is really commendable. Now talking about for the industry perspective, if we think, industry experts say that pharma industry is going to double over the next period of 4 years. And this doubling of the figure will be because of lifestyle diseases, as Dr. Gaurav told rightly, and because of increased purchasing parity power in India, and because of things like people will be more aware. However, there are things like the patients, public are becoming more discerning and more advanced. So the industry now needs to customize the solution, industry now to step ahead into innovation. I would recollect what the director of NHRM told right now, that the viruses are advancing, so we need to address those issues. And like he rightly said, there are so many anemias, so many drugs for anemia, but there are problem of gastro, but we are not able to tackle it. So industry should come ahead with those solutions so that we can come and give innovation. So in nutshell, we have to come ahead and do innovation, because innovation is the call. If you recollect what Mr. John Weff told, that the British life sciences business is of 56 billion, being a country strategically placed in life sciences because of the innovation. So we need to focus on innovation, and I think that will really help us if we focus innovation. And talking about Gujarat, Gujarat has always been a place of innovation. As if I recollect the speech of Dr. Kaushia, we have 109 years of legacy of pharma industry, and we have a very good talent pool of skills for pharma industry. We have institutes like NIPER, Allen College, and then Nirma, so many. And then we have also autonomous bodies, including BBPERD and NIPER, who work hand in hand together for industries, helping them have R&D, incubation and all this. So Gujarat is very strategically placed, having very ease of doing business, industry friendly, and very long history for pharma sector. Gujarat accounts for a huge production, more than 30% of India pharma. And with this, I think, if industry, academia, and drug controller work together, Gujarat is the most ideal location for working together, because we have the complete pool required for working, and inherently we are basically what you can say that having everything required to augment and develop pharma industry from Gujarat. And with this, I see that Gujarat is having everything you can expect for running a business. We at FineCure are also having our facilities outside of Gujarat also. and inclined to have another facility in Gujarat, because Gujarat is having very good structure and ease of doing business. So with this, I would conclude and say that this is a very good event, and after this, we will have very good interaction wherein we are having upcoming curiosity in all of our mind of what policy is going to come with National Food and Pharma Policy. And at this event, Government of Gujarat and FDC has organized such an event where all the curiosity of our manufacturers can be solved. Is really commendable. I thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Vishal. So now next speaker I would like to request to speak is from Indian Drug Manufacturing Association, who would give the overall perspective how the pharma industry is working and has a vision towards the upcoming events. So I would like to request Mr. Viranti Shah. A round of applause for our guest.
Respected Shri Poonam Chand Parmarji, respected Dr. Koshia, Dr. Daradi, Dr. Mahapatra, Mr. Jeff, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Davia, dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, officers from FDCA Gujarat, CDSCO and other regulatory bodies, members from IDMA, and members from the food and pharma industry. Today we are talking of a very important topic that touches all of us, and that is the next frontier for growth for this industry. And when we speak of next frontiers of growth, let me put a perspective of statistics that I have already shared sometime, that there are more people alive today than have ever died. We are almost 7 billion people living on earth, and we are growing rapidly. What it means for all of us is that there are more opportunities for everyone sitting in this room to grow. Because all these 7 billion people and the growing number needs food, shelter, and healthcare. And obviously the demand is going to multiply. On the other hand, governments across the globe are making serious efforts to increase the life expectancy and the quality of life index for its citizens. It's a common phenomenon across the globe. Putting these two things in perspective, we come a situation where there is a possibility of tremendous growth in this industry. Having said that, there is one more statistics which says that there is not probably a single country in the world that doesn't import pharmaceuticals from India. As much as there is not a single country in the world that doesn't host a Gujarati family living there. So we are into our roots are spread across the globe. Why I'm putting this statistics here is that we have our people across the globe, and we have an industry which is so powerful, which is able to cater to the needs of billions of people across the globe. So what is stopping us? Well, I think if you speak from the Gujarat's perspective, already a lot of speakers have shared, we are in the leader position in pharmaceuticals alongside Maharashtra, and we have been consistently performing both in terms of affordable medicines and access to good quality medicines. Quality is also very important for all of us, and we have been successfully doing it for years. In fact, the growth of Indian pharmaceutical industry has always been a shade better than the growth of GDP. On a statistics perspective, we have been almost 1.5 times the growth of GDP. When the Indian GDP was growing around 10%, 9%, we are growing around 13%. Today, when the GDP is between 6 and 7, we are growing around 10%. And the industry has robustly grown. So what is the catch? The catch is we cannot continue to grow tomorrow with yesterday's policies and perspectives and ways of doing business. And therefore, we need a stable, industry-friendly policy and environment that fosters the growth of everybody in this industry. We all know the government of India has just put out a draft pharmaceutical policy, and in fact in the pharma circles it is the talk of the town. Everybody is very apprehensive of what is going to happen and how it is going to happen. But like Chanakya, when he wrote Arthashastra, he cited that the health of any government or industry is as good as or as bad as the people handling it make. Like if the industry or a government is in good hands with people, the decision makers who take things in a very positive perspective, the industry grows, the government grows, and the society grows. And if it's not in the right hands, obviously it goes the other way around. Now that we have a pharma policy which is likely to address a lot of issues both from the government perspective and from the industry's perspective, I think the government is also taking us on the platform to understand what are our apprehensions, and as IDMA we'll do our best to put our perspectives to the government. And if we have a very stable, sound policy which fosters investment in this sector, which helps to grow all the small, medium and large companies, we have a very good future. Just take a few more minutes. Since I started talking, or since we started this morning, almost 15 children would have died in Africa out of HIV. Today, almost 1,000 new patients of diabetes would have been detected across the globe, and more than 800 patients of cancers would be detected today. The number is growing, and we all have a big challenge and a big responsibility to cater to. So I think the future, the growth perspectives are very good, and we should all make a very concentrated effort to eat this pie. I wish this conference a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. Yes, we need a consolidated effort to face the challenges, and our team here has been, so the best practices of across the country are something to learn from. So our team across the country have been working on this, they have been doing interviews and research from the experts and the policy makers, and that we could bring together in our special issue of e-health. We are celebrating 12th year of our e-health magazine. A round of applause for Dr. Ravi Gupta, who has been behind this. So I would request our guests to unveil our special issue, which our team, the program director Himangni Rajput and all other team, Gopi, all of them have worked here, who have been here for more than 2 months working, doing research, and they could bring together this special issue. I would request my colleagues to pass on the special issue out on the stage, please. Yeah. These magazines will be given away in the audience in a while. So we have industry perspective, the interviews and research articles of various governments across the country. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, just as a token of appreciation, the leaders, the best practices who have been the driving force for trend-setting practices across the country. We would like to, I would request Poonam Chand Parmar sir to give away a token of memento to some of our speakers who have been trend-setting for their best practices. I would request my colleagues to hand over appreciation memento to Dr. Pallavi Darade, Commissioner, Food and Drugs Administration, for e-initiatives and other initiatives in Maharashtra. A round of applause for Dr. Pallavi Darade. And another award for our guest from Odisha, Mr. R.P. Singh, Food Safety Commissioner, MD OSMCL, for E-Niramaya. E-Niramaya initiative. And of course, our program chair, Dr. Hemantji Khoshia, who has been in the forefront for all the E-initiatives in Gujarat, for making the online services online. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our special guest and chief guest, Poonam Chand Parmar sir, to give his special address. A round of applause for our guest.
Mr. Geoff Wayne, the Deputy High Commissioner from Britain, Ms. Pallavi Darade, the Commissioner from Maharashtra, Mr. Khoshia, my colleague, Commissioner from Government of Gujarat, Mr. Gaurav Dahiya, my colleague from Government of Gujarat, Mr. R.P. Singh, Mr. Virantji Shah, Mr. Vishal, Mr. Chatterjee, and Mr. Ravi Gupta. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first start with a salute to Mr. Geoff, because he praised our Gujarati people a lot. So, in fact, Mr. Geoff, you are Gujarati only, because we in Gujarat, whosoever comes to our land, we convert them into a Gujarati. So I salute you as a Geoff Gujarati. Let me start from the point where Virantji Shah dropped the line. He was talking about some catch between the GDP and the 1.5%, I think 150% growth rate of pharma industries, and some catch he was mentioning. But Virantji, I think there is no catch. I think it is always cash in these industries. Because day before yesterday, I was talking with someone that which are the sectors where one should go for some investment, because FD rates of banks are falling down. So people are searching for the new avenues to invest. And the immediate answer will be always the pharma industries. So I think congratulations to all of you who are in the industries. Yeah, we are growing. I think population in the country all over the world is increasing rapidly. We have crossed the 7 billion mark and maybe crossing the 8 billion mark in near future. Our life expectancy, I think during the time of pyramids, was around 40 years, I think less than 40 years. When we became independent, our life expectancy was also very low. Now I think India is also increasing its life expectancy, and all over the world it is 70, 75, 80. So with the increase in age, obviously the diseases are also increasing. Nature is very smart. Whenever we build a block, immediately it has been broken by the nature. So always human health is the prime objective for all of us. And food and pharma go together. I think none in the hall who can say that I haven't taken food in my whole of the life. Is there anyone who hasn't taken meal during the life? No. Every now and then we need some food to eat. And similarly, none in the hall can say that I haven't touched the pharma product in my life. I think most of us must be carrying some tablet in one form or another to save our life or to improve our comfort of our life. But do you know, in ancient time, food was our pharma. Indian kitchens were our healthcare centers. Do you know that or not? If you look at the ingredients what we use, I think Geoff may not understand. Even nowadays, Geoff, this is the time of swine flu in the environment. So we propagate that each one of you who are not, everybody has met the virus. Okay, none of you can say that I haven't met this virus. But because of your immunity, you are still safe. But one of the ingredients, the spice, I think black pepper, is very good to improve the immunity. It is an antioxidant, and if you take 4 pieces of black pepper every day in the morning and in the evening, you can be safe from any viral diseases. And why I refer Geoff? Because this was the spice who made us under the command of British for 200 years. They came in search of this spice. So when you go back to your kitchen and look around ingredients, whatever housewives or the cooks are using, these are all healthcare ingredients, and food was our pharma in ancient time. But because in the name of quality of life, in the name of comforts, we have expanded our net of facilities, comforts and demands. As a result, we need more and more money to sustain with a good quality of life. And to earn more money, we have to work very hard. We have to use our day hours for some or other businesses. As a result, our food habits have been changed. Some of us go for fast food and spoil our health after some years. So we are changing the taste of our tongue and spoiling our health. As a result, the healthcare center, which were very powerful at our home, have been disturbed. And it has been replaced by pharma product. The tablets, the molecules, combinations in various form. And still, I think they are both our friends. I think food and pharma are increasing our life expectancy. And that's why I congratulate all of you for coming to this summit and participating in the discussion. And I think at the end of this summit, we may also learn something to advance our policies, change our executive orders to make the industries, to fill them ease of doing business good in Gujarat. Gujarat and Maharashtra together, I think we are sharing good business, good market share of pharma and food in the country and abroad. I think maybe put together Gujarat and Maharashtra must be more than 50-60% of the total business of the country. And in export also it must be more than 50%. So this is a hub. Gujarat and Maharashtra are the hub of these industries. And I think the participation of both the states, and I think Odisha also has come to this occasion. So I welcome all of you in this summit and wish to see that you will do, I think, more interactive sessions, and when you conclude, I think you will give us good guidance to build our future policies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All the esteemed speakers have put forward their perspective. We are very thankful to them. They have made it to the summit. And now I would request to to give away a speaker memento to our esteemed speakers out here. I would request Poonam Chand Parmar sir to give away speaker mementos to our esteemed speakers out here. Speaker memento to Dr. Pallavi Darade madam for giving her perspective and best practices from Maharashtra. And Dr. Hemantji Koshia sir to Dr. Speaker memento. Next is Geoff Wayne, Deputy High Commissioner, British. And we have, next is Vishal Rajgaria, Fine Cure Pharmaceuticals. And Dr. Gaurav Dahiya, Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of Gujarat. Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspective for the initiatives and all. And we have Viranti Shah, Vice Chairman from Indian Drug Manufacturing Association. And Biprabodh Chatterjee, Head Research and Development, Adani Wilmar Limited. And I would also request Dr. Ravi Gupta to give away the chief guest memento to our special guest, Poonam Chand Parmar, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat. Now I would request Dr. Ravi Gupta to give away the word of thanks speech.
Respected Poonam Chand Parmar ji, our chief guest for the function. He is the Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat. We have the representation of senior officials from Maharashtra, Pallavi ji, who is the Commissioner, Food and Drug Administration and Food Safety Commissioner from the Government of Maharashtra. We have senior representation from Government of Odisha, Shri R.P. Singh ji, who is the MD of the Odisha Pharma Department. And we have Koshia ji, who is the leader in the pharma sector and the regulator here in the Gujarat government. And we have the Industry Association, which is the IDMA, Viren Shah ji. So, and we have senior representation from the British government. The British Deputy High Commissioner is here, Geoff. Thanks for being here. And we have T.K. Kannanji, who gave a good speech, who is from the Adani Wilmar, and Vishal Ragaria, Marketing Director of Inaugural Pharma. The whole idea of organizing this summit emerged that there's a big debate happening in the pharma sector and the food sector regarding regulations, policies, pricing, import, exports. There are several issues which are being hot and discussed in a big way across states and at the national level. And we at elets have been publishing a magazine called eHealth for last 12 years, and the whole aim has been to help bring dialogue happen in a more informed way between the various stakeholders of the health and the pharma industry across the states. So at elets, we have been organizing conferences like this across around 15 states. We have organized in last 12 years. We have also done similar health conferences in Bangkok, in Kuala Lumpur, Colombo, Bangladesh, and various other countries to help bring the health care and pharma best practices in India and take the Indian industry outside India. So under this endeavor, we are honored to be partnering with the government of Gujarat here and to organizing this summit. We have eminent delegates here from the industry, from the academia, and we are honored to have you all. And as you will be seeing in the agenda, we have a very interesting session all around the day, and we are looking forward to listening to our eminent speakers and having discussions with the audience and having a dialogue happen. And we will be bringing out recommendations of this summit and publishing in our magazine next issue, and also submitting it to the government for looking at those recommendations and acting on it if they find it suitable enough. So with this, I thank all the eminent dignitaries and the audience for your kind presence here. Thank you so much. We will break for tea here, and also I will hand over Sudhir for other announcements.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Ravi Gupta. So I would request Dr. Ravi Gupta to give away the chief guest memento to our esteemed guest, Poonam Chand Parmar, sir, Additional Chief Secretary. That's the speaker memento, sir. This is something from our and a guest of honor memento to our foreign guest, Geoff Wayne, British Deputy High Commissioner. I would request all the panelists to come forward for a group picture with all their mementos. It will be a memory for us. Thank you, sir. With all these mementos and